What the fuck? What's up, Bottom Nation? Happy Monday, Bottom Nation. This is an AM recording, if you can't tell. I feel like you guys can tell. But really fun comedian this week. Big up-and-comer in the comedy scene. He's opened for me in LA. Everyone I know who sees him is obsessed with him. Like, fully in love. We have Nico Carney. He just was on Introducing with Netflix. They're like picks for the next big up-and-coming comedians. And today on this podcast, he talks about being a trans male comedian and sort of like appealing to straight men with his comedy or cis straight men with his comedy. But also, he has this hilarious story about meeting a woman at a bar and the woman's partner starts flirting with him heavily, and he gets in sort of a weird situation. It's a very funny, classic WHGS story. I think you're really, really going to like it. And then, you know, as always, plug in the tour dates. We're adding a lot right now. We're going to start doing theaters. I'm taping my special. The Patreon is funding the special at Fonz's podcast. Go check it out. It's $1 a month. No one's doing that. Patreon literally says, are you sure you want to do this? And I said, yes, I want to keep it cheap because I know a lot of you guys want to contribute, but you don't have a ton of money, and $1 is a good option, okay? Patreon.com/WHGS. Was that too negative? Keep this in.
I think it was fine.
Okay. Listener, we all have body problems. Maybe your knee hurts. Maybe your poops aren't great. I know for me, I'm not the best pooper, and I do have joint pain. And that's why I'm really excited to talk about this new sponsor that we're working with, our partner, Athletic Greens. It's a product that I've been using literally every day, and I started taking AG1 because I had issues with my gut health. It's a little personal to talk about on the air, my gut health, but that's what I was struggling with. And I just wanted generally more energy to make sure my body was well taken care of, my immune system, yada, yada, yada. We all want that stuff, but what do we actually do about it? Maybe start taking some vitamins, you piece of shit, with Athletic Greens. So what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things. My digestion is better. My energy is better. I'm feeling great. And guess what? It's lifestyle friendly whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. And they have sustainable values, which you know I love. Athletic Greens is a climate-neutral certified company. And in 2020, Athletic Greens purchased carbon credits that support projects in protecting old-growth rainforests. So that's pretty nice. Good for you and the planet. And right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/WHGS. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/WHGS. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance, listener.
There was this one person who was like a masked lesbian. It was like my only like sort of acquaintance in this scene. So I walk in, I see this kiosk sitting with a woman, and it's Kiosk's girlfriend, who is also named Kiosk. Masked Kiosk goes to the bathroom, and then I feel something on my foot, and she's playing Footsy with me under the table while her partner is in the bathroom.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like,
You're
okay.
cucking.
I start to like just shit. I'm like, okay, I gotta like move my legs. I'm like.
Okay, we're in the apartment. We're having gay sex.
Woo!
We're having great sex. Great sex.
Freudian slip. Freudian slip.
I just hit on you fully. I'm straight now. We're having gay sex with Nico Carney today. Very quick into the intro. Look how quick I did it.
I know, usually we take like 15 minutes.
Yeah, welcome to the pod. I don't know what order this is coming out in, but Maddie is our new we're in the cancel hot seat, keeping me from getting canceled. Our virgin hall monitor, our little dweeby dweeb over there, just gay fucking virgin. Look at you virgin. Are you into the roasty relationship that we're developing?
Me?
Or, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I just need.
I feel like it's funnier if I play into it, but know that I'm not being held hostage. And
Look right into the camera when you say that.
no, I'm very
blinking
into
in
it.
full
And
Morse code, which you would know, virgin. Only a fucking virgin would be able to blink more. I'm kidding. This is really
No,
Listener,
it's my favorite
if you're
thing.
a virgin, everyone in their own time.
Mm-hmm.
And
But if you are a virgin, you're not on the wrong path if you're like picking up fun little hobbies. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like if you are learning Morse code, it's like, yeah, use the time to do something.
yeah,
you know what I
be
mean?
productive
Really well
with
done.
with your virginity.
Yeah.
You're not a fucking virgin, are you?
No.
I'm not a virgin. I'm a gay virgin.
You're a gay virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So for me,
It's
Yeah.
in all ways that it counts.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
virgin.
but thank you for being here. You just did Netflix's their equivalent of New Face introducing.
Yeah, introducing, yeah.
It's Netflix's like up and coming comedian selection thing. Yeah, it's cool.
It's a
very,
huge
very
fucking
cool.
deal,
It is a
and it's
very
very
big
cool.
deal.
Yeah,
and,
it's very cool.
and you are on their YouTube.
Your set was so good too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm on their YouTube. Yep.
You are the nicest person I've ever met in my
I
entire
mean
life.
it. I want. It's a good set.
No,
Thank you.
yeah. I'm always blown away by your kindness, your genuine kindness.
Oh, thank
Maddie's
you.
like the nicest
Maddie
person
rocks. Oh, yeah.
I've ever met in my life.
It was so nice.
I
Thank
feel
you.
now I feel bad.
Because I know
for-
you're being nice because you were mean to me before, but you can just be mean. It's okay.
No, I like that people. I want people to know this about you because I feel it's so core to your personality. I do want to bring it to the character.
That's so
Like
nice.
if I'm the high school bully,
yeah.
which I clearly am. And I'm bullying you. I want the people at home to know that we also have this weird relationship where maybe when I'm not bullying you, you're just super nice to me for some reason.
It's like
Do you know what I'm
Eeyore-
talking about?
He's like, sometimes there's a rain cloud, but you still gotta love your friends. like positive. Okay, that joke did not land.
What is that from?
For Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh?
Eeyore. A sick Eeyore reference from the Virgin.
Poopy. Do we have a boo button?
Yeah,
oh
we
my
do have a
god.
boo. Boo yourself. Boo yourself. I'm not
Boo
clicking
yourself.
it. Right there. You boo yourself.
Somebody is getting off to this so hard. It's like hitting so many boxes.
I do think, we have Nico here, and that's a very big deal, and you're here. We never talk about your Comedy Central set, but you've got your Comedy Central. I have
Fucking great.
I have
Oh,
nothing.
thanks.
Just to be clear, I have absolutely nothing. Nothing. Just a void of
Just
of credits.
so much pussy. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Not even that, though. Not even that. But I do think that sometimes the audience does come to my shows specifically to hear me yell in a way that I do feel a little objectified and fetishized. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, they're like, as a dom.
Yeah,
There's probably like a Craigslist thing that's like, if you want to get fucking yelled at, go to Sunday school every Sunday at 8.
I'm constantly posting. I did not write this.
Yeah.
This is not my doing.
Yeah.
Oh, someone in the new. Yeah, please actually write that on Craigslist. I would love to see
That's
that.
so funny.
That post not written by me.
That's how you. You're gonna get a lot of straight dudes in the audience. Now.
Yeah.
It's gonna
No,
expand the
honestly,
viewership.
that would be great. I would love to diversify the audience a little bit. And if that's how I have to do it, if I have to be like lesbian dominatrix for men at Sunday school, oh man, good banter. And also, I'm just super excited to see the comment section. I probably make Nico really uncomfortable. So you've opened for me a few times.
Yeah.
And I probably make Nico deeply uncomfortable because every time I get a moment alone with Nico, I'm like, why aren't you thirst trapping on TikTok? And it's not for me, I promise.
Ashley's like, not even clips. Just take your shirt off.
You should be.
Dude, you probably could like blow up. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
women love you in a way that, like, you know, I've booked a lot of attractive queer comedians on my show or whatever. And the slide-ins that I get about you specifically are borderline inappropriate. They're like, people message me and I'm like, who the fuck was that first comedian? I want to suck him off right now. Like, people people like are really, they are obsessed with you.
All right.
So
maybe-
I don't understand, as a businesswoman, I'm like, you're not tapping into this obvious vein for revenue.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I get nervous about the internet. The internet makes, I don't know. There's a mixture
But
of nice and
TikTok
mean
is
people
pretty
on there.
safe.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand the transphobia. I'm gonna explain how I understand transphobia, because whenever we have trans guests on the podcast, mostly with the trans women that we have on the podcast, but sometimes the trans men too.
Mm.
Whenever we have trans people on the podcast, the YouTube comments are some of the most heinous, disgusting things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, when my Netflix clip went up, I made the mistake. They like put it out at like 11 p.m. Pacific time, which is like 2 a.m. Eastern, and I was still up, so I looked at it. And anybody who's up,
You were
at
still
2
up. You're counting the minutes.
Oh,
till this
literally!
thing
I'm like,
goes
this is
live.
gonna go out. I can't wait to watch. And then
Yeah.
and then the minute it went out, it was just like anybody who's up at 2 a.m. Eastern time on the YouTube Netflix channel, not a good person.
With a notification for every time stand-up comedy videos come out is not the...
Yeah, exactly. And it's like not exactly a trans ally, probably. So it was just some of the worst shit I've ever read, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm just not gonna read comments anymore.
It's so bad. Lately, I've been putting a lot of my stuff on YouTube because I'm gonna film a special for YouTube. Patreon.com/WHGS. Please go fund it. It's gonna cost like 50 grand. So just go give us
Hell yeah.
money. Yeah. Anyway, but every time whenever we have a guest, it is, I get the women aren't funny and there's some homophobia.
Yeah.
And maybe because I'm used to the homophobia, it doesn't strike me the same way, but the transphobia is just some of the most violent language I've ever seen on the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
fucked.
they will even talk about these people who insist that they're not inciting violence, like Dave Chappelle, like that, Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson or whatever, that guy from Canada. All those guys will say, oh, I'm just saying this. Like, what does it do?
Yeah.
And then you'll see these comments and you're like literally quoting them or referring to these guys. And you're like, it's right there.
Yeah.
These guys are literally, they're all riling each other up. You're the ringleader around
And it's
this.
like, if you are one of those guys too, like, you have a social obligation to like recognize how people are interpreting your words and then like adjust what you're saying to like reduce the harm of it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, you're
Yeah.
like, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Also, one time on a YouTube comment, somebody told me I was a pig who should eat cum out of a trough.
Whoa!
So,
And
the
I
internet
get-
is just a bad place.
And I get paid to say that to people, just
Descriptive.
by the way.
Yeah, that was actually the one where Ashley asked me to come on the podcast, and
That's how I
if you
offered.
like being straight so much.
I was gonna say that's a creative writer right there. That is a descriptive language.
Some of them are funny, but anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. How's your day? How's your week going?
My week's pretty good. I'm happy it's not so fucking hot anymore. feel
I
like
know, it's
getting
actually
slightly
quite
better.
nice.
Yeah, I had a dream last night that somebody was like, "It's fall," and I was like, "Is my like subconscious manifesting right now?" But I've been good. I've been hanging out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you having a good week, Maddie?
I've been having a pretty good week. I've been adjusting my sleep schedule. Sometimes I go through cycles where I accidentally get nocturnal, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck,
Yeah.
and then I'm trying to.
Maddie, I
Fix
don't
it.
think we've done enough about you. I want people to know that you have an emotional support rabbit.
I do.
Yeah.
That's one thing about you that I think
gets
people.
more virginal by the second. I do have an emotional support rabbit.
You're a great rug tufter. You do rug tuft. You have Tuftapalooza on Instagram.
I do. I make custom rugs. For
I
people.
didn't know that.
If you're gonna be here a while, the people really need a full picture of who you are.
Okay,
Yeah.
I grew up in North Carolina. I was on a synchronized ice skating team for many years.
We talked about that which is truly like one of the most funny things I've ever heard in my entire life. There's synchronized ice skating.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
kinda
know
remember
about
that.
this?
I think I listened to your episode of this podcast.
Oh, for
and I
real?
kinda
Oh my
remember
God,
that. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It's a great podcast.
No one ever listens.
And
Oh,
I-
that's right. You used to. This is a fact that I literally. So can I? If you want this cut, let me know. But I met you before you had transitioned,
Yes.
and you had been listening to the podcast.
Yes.
And it's so crazy to me because I do not associate that person with. I literally forget
Yeah.
that person exists.
Well, we met also in the capacity of I was like a fan, and then we like kind of re-met as more
Yeah.
Had you
peers
started
for, you
stand
know.
up when you were listening to the podcast?
kind of, yeah. Like not really in New York, but in I had started in like Savannah prior to that.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and then I
We're
moved
both
up here.
Southern comedians
Yeah,
too. We both
yeah.
started in the South, which is
Yeah.
like a interesting circuit of like, because I started in North Carolina,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't
Way
know-
different.
yeah, yeah.
I went to school in North Carolina. We've talked about this, I think.
Yeah.
The only one I never performed there because I wasn't really doing stand up at all in college, but the Idiot Box in Greensboro.
The best, Jenny
Yeah.
Stencil. She doesn't listen to this. She's a straight woman with kids. But well, maybe
You never know.
Jenny.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of like closeted bi women who listen to this to like exercise their sexuality because they can't in their straight marriages.
You're saving marriages.
I'm not
They're
I'm not
on
even
the Peloton
kidding.
with this in their headphones, just
Okay,
like
wait.
living it out.
We have to talk about Peloton.
Okay.
Because I've started Pelotoning.
Wait, no way.
And it is the straightest thing about
Where
me.
is it?
No, it's in the gym in the building.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Your
Can you
voice
imagine?
did change a little bit when you said that.
I am Pelotoning. I love Peloton. No, can you imagine if in this studio apartment, we're moving, patreon.com/WHGS, please help us pay. We're making so many expansions to this podcast and just the content that I'm putting out in general. And I am just on a prayer being like, it's going to work. It has to work. Alex is loving hearing this. Yes, your job is secure. But wouldn't it be crazy if I just like had a Peloton wedged into my kitchen?
I have to sit on it as
imagining-
the chair while we're recording.
Pedal, metabolize, you virgin.
That's
you
how
want to
it-
get laid or not? Pedal, turn up the resistance.
It turns into just a gay boot camp for me.
The Peloton powers all this equipment.
I stop pedaling, the camera starts dimming.
I can't afford the electric bill anymore. Pedal.
I'm imagining it like a Murphy bed. It comes out of the wall like this. Sorry, you can fit it.
Well, I've been Pelotoning. And guys, it is the straightest thing about me.
Yeah.
It hits home so hard. Nothing has been as gender affirming for me as Peloton.
Wait, honestly, you could be a Peloton instructor for lesbians because you could just yell at them while they're Pelotoning.
so this is-
Ashley, you gotta do this.
This is the joke that I've been thinking about writing. Gay people, the way gay people are consumed in media is primarily as a coach for their life. Gay
True.
people come in, they yell at you, and they're nice. They're basically
Queer eye.
saying, right, exactly. There's usually a good cop and a bad cop.
Yeah.
But they bring 5 men in, and they're like, you can't cook, you can't dress, you can't talk to women. We're gonna fix your whole wardrobe. This house is a mess. That was really homophobic, the voice that I just did, but thank you, hall monitor. But you get the point.
Yeah.
Like that's how and it's the same thing on Peloton. They get a gay guy on the bike and he's just screaming insults at you, basically peppered in with some motivational talk. It's really like it is like kind of dom and subby, the
Yeah.
Peloton instructor to the gay Peloton instructor to straight woman relationship.
Yeah.
It's super interesting.
Well, Connor, you guys have both met Connor.
Yeah.
My like coworker, or what's the word I'm looking for? My creative partner and best friend. He is a Pilates instructor.
Oh, is he really?
And the girls love him because he's also a gay man who
God.
yells at them all day. And like they're always taking pictures with him after class and stuff. He is a celebrity.
He called me a
That's
little
so
bitch. I
cute.
love him.
Yeah, truly. Like he has them in the palm of his hand. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
It's so interesting that most people are bottoms.
Yeah.
Most people just want to be screamed at in a kind way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really bizarre to me, but I love Peloton. And there are times when I cry at the end of Peloton.
Wow.
Because
You're inspired?
yeah, because like,
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I kind of glossed over that because it didn't register because I was like, well, that's not. And then it hit me. You cry after Peloton?
so here's what happens. You're doing Peloton and you're in the last thing and they're giving you the motivational, you're in the last climb. They're giving you the motivational talk, right? I can't believe I made my Peloton name the same as all my social media. I'm deeply regretting
That's
people
so
finding me on Peloton. But
Is there a social aspect?
yeah, you can like, it tells you, oh, this is their
Leaderboards.
80th ride or it's their birthday, the leaderboards. Although I never do them live, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But you're doing the ride and then you get to the end and they're like, you know, basically like, don't quit. Sometimes they'll even make an analogy to real biking. Like you're at the finish line, there's a guy right next to you. Are you going to keep going? Are you going to like win this race or whatever?
They
And
call
in-
your mom. She says she's proud of you.
And in my
Your
head,
FaceTime with your mom pops up on the giant screen.
in my head, I'm visualizing my Emmy. You know what I mean? In my
Yeah.
head, that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking about my comedy goals, and I'm thankful for this time away from work, and then I'm making it about work. And then all of a sudden, you're at the end of it. You've spent all this energy. You cry.
Waterworks.
Am I the only person? Write in, listener. Am I okay? Are you crying after your Peloton workout? I don't know. Just it gets me.
Oh.
You know, maybe because I'm so busy that when I've made space for a half an hour of just presence and endorphins and me time, maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because you're an athlete.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever cried after a workout. I've peed myself running before, but that's
That's
different.
That's the masculine way. You're not gonna
It doesn't
cry.
come out of my eyes. I just piss myself.
Right, exactly. You turn it into like I never stop running. I never stop
No
running.
breaks.
I shit myself running. I bleed running. I would
Yeah.
never cry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm crying. And thank you.
Probably
Honestly,
healthy.
Cody Rigsby, if you're listening to this, please come do the podcast. I'm fucking obsessed with you. I can punch up your material because sometimes they do bits.
I bet, yeah.
They do bits on the bike.
Oh my god, there's nothing worse than like comedy bits in a non-comedy context that just kill. Like a TED Talk, little
They
jokey
kill
aside,
because
you're
the
like,
bar is so low.
Yeah.
The bar is so low.
Everybody's delusional because they're tired. So they're like, that's hilarious. Maybe that's what we ought to do. We ought to do shows and put people on Pelotons and they will laugh so hard.
That's so just wear them down until the threshold is lowered.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to do the insanity workout.
What's that?
Do you remember like P90X?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It was like similar to that. This huge dude is just like, let's go! And my parents bought it as like we're adults and we're gonna get back in shape. And then they were like, it's too hard, we can't do it. And we just had these DVDs laying around our house.
Insanity.
And then it's called Insanity, and there's this font that's like, we'll kill you. Like, it's really intense. And then in 8th grade, I just picked it up and I was like, let me try this. And I got like really into it for like 2 months. Like I was like sitting in like a wall seat thing with like weights on my legs. Just
Oh
like,
my God.
I was like really into it.
I don't like the straight male equivalent of like the Peloton instructor yelling
Yeah.
at you. I like the I don't really listen to the straight women.
Mhm.
There is this older woman who does the senior citizen Peloton ones.
Oh, that's nice.
That I didn't realize was senior citizen, and I loved her. And I was like, "This is a great workout." And then I finished it, and I went to her Instagram, and it says senior Peloton instructor.
She's like, if you've got arthritis, sit this one out.
But I liked her because she was super like I don't know how to describe different doms and subs and stuff like that because I'm really not a connoisseur of this world.
Mm.
But if she was a dom, she was like, it was like a psychological thriller of a dom. Like she's like in your head somehow. I don't know. It was very, it was very mommy for me. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
But it was kind of insulting to learn that she was the senior, and,
so
and it was
funny.
just like the perfect level of workout for me. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Gay
Yeah.
sex. Oh, intros. I'm Ashley Gavin, cis gay white woman. She, her pronouns. Yeah, major expansion of content right now. The special, the studio, weekly YouTube content on top of this. More Patreon content. We've got 3 episodes with Maddie coming out on the Patreon. So yeah, patreon.com/WHGS. I'm gonna leave it with that. And the tour dates, obviously. And then, oh wait, hold on. Okay, I think I got it. And then, as always, to keep me from getting canceled, we have our Virgin Hall monitor keeping me out of the principal's office so you can step into my office. Maddie Wiener.
Hello, I'm Maddie Wiener. She, they, gender under construction. We'll report back later. And I'm bisexual, but I'm still a gay virgin. And comedy.
All right, and what's your excuse? Because every week we have an excuse as to
Yeah, I have an
why
excuse
you
of
didn't
why-
have gay sex this week.
Oh, I'm still on the rose toy excuse, which is what I used last week, but it's really good.
What? Oh, the rose toy.
I recharged it.
Is this a vibrator?
It's a
Sucker.
It's a
Nice.
sucker, yeah.
All right. Well, you keep up with that.
Okay, thanks. I'll talk more about it in my story.
Okay. And Nico, do you mind introducing yourself so people know the things that they want to know about you at home?
Absolutely. I'm Nico Carney. I'm a trans man. I'm white. He, him pronouns, queer. Do you want me to plug stuff too? Or just
Yeah. Plug
Yeah.
all your stuff.
You can I have a monthly show at Club Coming if you're in New York. It's the last Friday of the month in the East Village, and I'm doing a half hour at Union Hall on October 26th if this comes out before then. So
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
It will
let's
come out.
go.
It will come out
Sweet.
before that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah, should be fun.
Are you taping it for something for the submissions or whatever? Or?
Not for anything in particular, but
Just
just to
running
like
the
to
half
run
hour?
it and to have it because I'm gonna try to do some like potentially some college touring, so I'm trying to do some longer sets.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
try to
yeah.
get that going.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
I remember. Anyway, whatever. All right. What do I want to talk about this week? I have such a backlog of stuff. There's the glamping story. I could talk about the glamping story. I'm not super in the mood to talk about the glamping story. What was the other one that I wanted to mention? There was this. Do you want romance or do you want like drama?
Oh, I think drama.
Okay. No one ever. Who wants romance?
No, you want
Who
juicy
wants
gossip.
me to be happy on this podcast?
Not
Who
even you.
Not even me. Who wants me to be having a good time and feeling stable with a person that I feel very comfortable with? No, we got to go for drama. So there's this. It's weird because we've had a really, to be perfectly honest, it's been a very up and down transition the past few weeks. So it's some stories have been on hold for a while. So this happened a while ago. So I'm going to do my best. But I'll give you the backstory because you weren't here for this.
Okay.
But I met this woman who I liked very much. She works in finance. She is my classic type, which I describe as femme in a blazer. I love
Nice.
like a very professional femme who feels like, she's going to talk down to me in a boardroom or something. Like I'm about to get a HR violation from the toppy femme.
I get that.
Yeah, toppy in life.
Yeah.
Life top, sort of switchy in the bedroom.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I go for.
Are you? Well, do you switch in the bedroom or are you
When
you're
I'm
top all the way?
very comfortable, like if I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I find it's just much more fun that way. But like first time, one night stand or whatever, I'm much toppier.
Yeah.
But I met her and I went on this great date with her. She's very my type. I'm very physically attracted to her. I'm attracted to her brain. The energy is good. I like that she has this job that she she seems like ready for marriage and just all this stuff. And I was like, great, perfect. Oh my God, I can't believe that I met a person like this. And then in the middle of the date, she tells me that she's in an open relationship with her boyfriend.
Ooh.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, for me, on a vulnerable note, I used to be kind of a fucked up person.
Mhm.
I was in a lot of bad relationships. And so much of my life the past few years has been really dedicating myself to feeling better. And then consequently, my career started going better. And so I put a lot of work into making my life what I want it to be. But it kind of sucks because now I'm a little bit older with an already small dating pool. It's really just hard to meet people
Yeah.
that are in the same life as me. And I'm way more attuned to red flags. So it's like hard to start dating someone and then want to give them a chance when I'm like, my life is so great. I don't need someone coming in and wrecking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so protective of my security now.
Yeah. Well, I feel like when you're first dating, I mean, first couple people I dated were like kind of closeted, and like when you're young, you're like, oh, that's okay. Anybody who's looking at me, that's great. And like, no, of course, if you're closeted, that's not a problem at all. Like everybody goes at their own pace. But I feel like now I'm older and I'm so out that I'm like, I don't think that's not emotionally where I'm at.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't think that's the right person for me at this point.
Oh, aren't you like 24?
Yeah.
I dated someone for 3 years in the closet like 2 minutes ago. So
Yeah,
I'm so impressed. Like I'd made so many bad choices.
It's hard though because like you want, especially as a queer person, like you're so excited when it finally happens that you're like,
Yes.
literally anything, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
I'll hide.
true.
I'll
There's
change my
this-
name. I don't care.
I
Yeah.
also think there's that literal part of it, but there's also like the emotional, the scarcity part of it, where
Totally.
you grow up thinking you're never gonna meet someone else gay, even though they're all around you. You just have no fucking idea because everyone's in the closet. You know what I mean?
Me.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have this scarcity mindset. So she says that, and then I'm in this weird place because I'm like, I like to have fun. I'll have fun with someone.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult for me to have fun with someone who I'm like emotionally interested in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So-
the second I'm like, I like you, I can't. We need to date,
Exactly.
or I need to never see you again.
And I like you, so you're gonna have to move out of the city. I like you, so I've created an evacuation plan for this situation.
Yeah.
We're gonna need you to put on this life vest and slide out of my apartment immediately. But yeah, I really liked her, and I was like, whatever, maybe I can try to have some fun. So I decide to see her again. We mess around. It's a good time, but I'm still like 50-50 about what this is gonna be. And she's dropping all these hints at me I think it's been long enough that I can talk about this truthfully. So she told me she was in an open relationship, but that she was seeing women. But when we had sex, I could sense that she was a little nervous. So I just openly asked, I was like, if you don't mind telling me, and it's frankly none of my business, but I just want to know kind of if you're okay, like, has it been a minute since you've been with a woman? And she, I don't know if she was tipsy and didn't realize that she was what she had said to me, but basically I think she was kind of telling me a white lie about which, you know what, honestly, taking myself out of it, it's nobody's fucking business what your experience level is. I think it's always better to have open communication and be with someone that you trust. But like, I know on your side as a gay virgin, it might be intimidating to tell someone that you're a gay virgin.
Yeah. Well, and in my head, I go like, oh, they're going to think that I'm like a straight girl who just wants to experiment. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Maddie, no one is thinking that about you. Literally, no one thinks that you're a straight girl who wants to experiment.
No, they're like, what have you been waiting for?
They're like, are you sure you haven't? Do you just not remember?
This is a fluke.
No one thinks that about you. So I want to be clear. I personally don't care. Like, what someone's experience level is. I think it's really fun at all experience levels, but it's up to everybody. Everyone's personal preference is their personal preference. Maybe there are people out there who don't want to get in an emotional entanglement with someone who isn't fully out, whatever it is, but everything is case by case, totally. I think. Am I walking this cancel line well?
Yeah. Well, what's even the cancel?
Well, basically, I was like, she told me this white lie about her experience. And when I saw that she was nervous, and I, very tried empathetically, kindly to be like, hey, you seem a little nervous. Like, has it been a minute? And she was like, yeah, I haven't been with a woman since I've been dating my boyfriend, which was meant several years. So I clocked that white lie. And to me, I was like, the way that I think about it, I was like, she was just telling me, she just didn't want me to end things with, she's nervous.
Yeah.
She's nervous about telling me that she's poly. She's nervous about the experience level. And I don't want to make her uncomfortable. So of course I'm not going to I'm just going to try and make her as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
And we had a nice time. 2 days later, I get this call from her or text from her in the middle of the night. She's like, I'm going on tour. And I think she just wants to see me before I go on tour, but it's very urgent. She's like, hey, can I see you? I was like, yeah, I'm back in a couple days. She's like, no, can I see you tomorrow morning before you leave? And I was like, yeah, sure.
She's like, I'm pregnant and I told my boyfriend it was you.
Right, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Do you have a moment where you're like, is she pregnant? And you're like, wait, no, we can't know.
No, because I'm not having a gender identity crisis, Maddie. So I have never had that thought, actually.
Okay.
So I'm very confident she's not. Actually, she texts me and I'm like, she's definitely not pregnant. That was the first thought I had. So she comes over. She's shaking.
Oof.
And I'm like, something is really wrong. And she sits down and she tells me that her boyfriend proposed to her the night after we hooked up.
Whoa.
Yeah. She had also told me that she was not ready for marriage with this person. And she said yes in front of all these people.
Oh my
public
God.
shit.
Semi-public, I think. Oof. Family, friends.
Yeah.
And then behind the scenes, she was like, I can't do this. And then I'm the first person. I'm the first person that she saw.
I mean, that's how you know you're good at eating pussy. She was like,
she came back to him with the glow. And he was like, I gotta lock it in right now.
She's ready.
Honestly, that's what I'm thinking. So I don't want to undermine, not that I'm like so good in bed. That's not what I'm saying. I'm like,
seems like it.
That's the through line I'm getting, but
no, what I'm thinking is I don't want to undermine all the things she said to me, but because there was a white lie in there, I'm now questioning the whole thing here of what the nature of this is with her boyfriend. So maybe fiance. So I'm thinking like, was this truly an open relationship? Because it didn't, if you're a poly person listening, you're probably like, red flag, red flag. I understand that there's like a lot of poly red flags like coming up. A lot of people have written into me the last time I talked about this. So I hear you if you're saying that. So I'm clocking this too, but I also like, I understand a sexuality crisis when I see one. So I'm thinking about it that way. I'm like, oh my God, this girl is like going through it.
Yeah.
So I'm very empathetic to what she's going through. But then she gets here and I was like, I just fully turned straight. For a minute, I was like, girl, we got to go to brunch. So we went to brunch. We did not have sex. I don't even think we like kissed. We just went to brunch and we talked about like what she wanted. And I was like trying to like not influence her decision. You know what I mean? Because I just,
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's just a wild, chaotic situation.
Were they going to be an open marriage?
I don't know. She didn't have a lot of answers about that, which is another poly red flag that
Yeah.
So I don't know.
My favorite part of that was when you said, I know a sexuality crisis when I see one. Like a gay Sherlock Holmes.
I mean, I don't
You
think
have that thing where he's like got the numbers floating in front of him, but it's like pussies and like Tinder bios.
Her big three come across. Like,
well, the thing is, like, what did he know? What was he told? Was it a vibe that he was like, something's happening, she's pulling away, I'm gonna lock this down?
Yeah.
Or was it, I know we were in an open relationship, I wasn't actually pursuing it? Because the nature that I understood of their open relationship is that he didn't see other people. This was purely for her and her bisexuality.
That's always an interesting dynamic to me.
It is.
And I know a lot of people, I know nothing about it, so I really can't speak anyway on it, but it always feels like it's got to be a tough line to walk when it's only one party is really exploring it.
Totally.
And it's one thing if you're totally okay with that dynamic, but I feel like, again, I don't know, but
it takes the
feels
right
like
relationship.
There's
sometimes people who reluctantly will go poly to please the other person, and it's like that's not.
And you never know because I'm only seeing it from the one side.
Yeah.
I'm never talking to the dudes with the bi girlfriends. I'm talking to the bi girlfriends.
Yeah.
So I only see it from their perspective. You know what I mean?
You're talking to the person getting the better end of the deal,
right?
Yeah.
So they're in a great mood / are having a sexuality crisis. So I wasn't sure because she had opened up to me that it was just women and that it was an open relationship, but I was the first woman. So it's possible that he did fully know what was going on, but as soon as it happened, he locks it down.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Listener, write in.
That's tough.
It's super tough, and I'm going to leave it there. There's more on this story, but I think we've talked about it enough.
Wow.
But
that's crazy.
It is an absolutely bananas story. So I don't know. Should I hit it again or? I'm kidding.
One more time on the wedding night just to seal the deal.
Yeah, but I really feel for her, like being asked before you're ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
tough.
And then do it publicly where you feel you have to say yes, that's brutal.
Yeah, and from my perspective, if she's telling me the truth, and I'm going to assume that she is, if she actively said to him, I'm not ready to get engaged, and then this guy does it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't like the guy anymore.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Now I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible because like I don't want to get involved in a very complicated situation.
But especially if it's like, oh, you slept with someone? Okay, let me clamp down. Like that's a bad dynamic. Yeah.
So, but benefit of the doubt, it could all just be a coincidence.
It probably is.
Could be.
Yeah, definitely. But that's my gay sex from this week. Listener, don't forget to support the Patreon, patreon.com/WHGS. That's how we pay Alex. He is a full-time employee of the podcast. We could not pay him on ads alone. Me also. This is full-time work, so please consider going and donating. And in return for those donations, you get bonus episodes. You get comped tickets when I'm in your city. You get extended, unfiltered, uncut episodes, weekly access to my Zoom stream of my show in New York, and lots of other stuff. Patreon.com/WHGS. Listener, don't miss me when I'm in your city. I'm touring 25 cities this year, and the best way to hear about it is via one text or email a year from me. AshleyGavin.com. You can go sign up and it enters you to win free tickets or even dinner with me anywhere in the U.S. as long as you are over 18 and in the continental U.S. I have an international mailing list too for when I start touring Canada and Europe and Australia and stuff like that. AshleyGavin.com. Nico, did you have gay sex this week?
I did have gay sex this week, but I'm gonna tell a story about getting hit on after a show
Oh, wonderful.
from like a while ago.
I
now.
love it. I'm going to live vicariously through you.
So this was in Savannah, Georgia, at this bar, and so there weren't a lot of young people and there weren't a lot of queer people in the like comedy scene there, but there was this one person who was like a masked lesbian who I like met kind of like saw like a couple times, and every time I would see them there I'd be excited because I was like, oh, another one, that's great, you know, like a friend, that's awesome. So I became like kind of cordial with this person.
Do they go by they, them?
I don't know because I haven't seen them in a long time. We don't really know each other, but that's the vibe I got, was that probably she they situation would be. So I'm just gonna use they just to cover my bases, I guess.
They might be listening to the podcast.
They could
right
be,
now.
yeah. So this is can we pick a different name for them?
Oh yes, we love fake names. We haven't done this yet with you. Okay, so the mask. Let's call them. You know what the non-binary name I've been using in all
Oh my gosh,
sex?
I was hoping you would say this.
Can we call them kiosk?
Kiosk. Sure.
That's the non-binary name I've
Okay.
been using in my sets.
So
I do believe it is a great non-binary
It's pretty
name.
good.
yeah, that is good.
Kiosks are kind of being phased out of society. There
True.
aren't a lot of kiosks anymore because there's not a lot of malls.
So let's
anymore.
pick up the name and carry
Yeah,
the torch.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good and it feels gender neutral. Kiosk.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so kiosk. All right, so I would run into, this is about to get interesting. I would run into kiosk, and I would always like be interested, like, you know, it would be nice to like see them or whatever. And it was like my only like sort of acquaintance in this scene. So in this like small comedy scene in Savannah.
So you're just getting started in comedy.
Yeah.
And just to paint a picture, it's tough to, you know, you're new, you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
You walk into this, everybody's there. You could tell who has been doing it a while and who's cool and
Definitely.
who's comfortable. And
It's an open mic in a bar that also has like pool tables right next to the stage, so sometimes you can't hear what people are saying.
Oh,
it's like
brutal.
It's a great place to be. And so anyway, so I walk in, I see this kiosk sitting with a woman, and I go up and I start talking to them, and it's kiosk's girlfriend,
okay.
who is also named Kiosk. In classic lesbian fashion, they're both named Kiosk. So Kiosk 1, Mask Kiosk and Femme Kiosk, we'll call them.
We've got a sunglass hut or like maybe like a Pac Sun kiosk, little Pac Sun, and then we've got
Yeah.
Claire's.
Yeah.
We got a Claire's
Yeah.
kiosk.
Oh my God.
Exactly. So then I start talking to Femme Claire's Kiosk, and we find out that she went to the same college as my sister, and they were in the same sorority a couple years apart, so they like knew each other. So then I start like having a conversation with this girl, like we have a lot of mutual people we know from Georgia that just know each other, whatever. I go up, I do my set, I come back, and Femme Kiosk is like, "That was really funny. Can I buy you a drink?"
Oh no! Oh no!
Mass
oh,
kiosk
no.
is sitting
oh,
there
no.
still.
Oh no!
So I'm like, "Oh,
That's
this is
so uncomfortable."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I was like, "Oh, this is friendly still, like whatever, like your partner's right here." That's I was like, "Oh, sure, like thanks." Like she was also going to get one herself.
Can I buy you a drink?
Yeah.
No, I think that's a major. If
my God.
I saw they're a couple, they're
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Girlfriends.
Yeah.
Partners.
Yeah.
Polly?
So
Unknown?
this was like long
Even
enough.
if it's Polly, I would be very.
Like
I
in
would
front of
not.
you?
I'd be like,
It was
I will
not
buy
a-
myself a drink. Thank you very much.
It wasn't the type of situation where I was like, "Oh, they want me to like be a third or anything like that." It was also a couple years ago, so I don't even think like poly was even something I was like aware of at that point. So I probably wasn't thinking that way. But that wasn't the vibe I was getting. But then she was like, "I'm getting a drink. Can I buy you one?" And I was like, "Oh, like sure. Thank you." And then so she came back. Then Mask Kiosk goes to the bathroom, and there's like people are on stage, and then I feel something on my foot. And she's playing Footsy with me under the table while her partner is in the bathroom.
Oh my
And I was like,
You're
okay.
cucking.
I start to like just shit. I'm like, okay, I gotta like move my
The way you're
legs.
like-
I'm like, I can't. I'm not gonna touch you. And then I can feel her stare like so hard on me, like she's like trying to flirtily like look at me. And I was like, I'm just like not gonna look at you. I'm just gonna like. I was like, I don't know what to do because like this is my only friend in this scene. Kind of is this other kiosk, and like now kiosk girlfriend is like trying to hit on me. I was like, this is a fucking nightmare. So anyway. So I try to like just like play it off and not like look at her or anything, and then like the night
You're trying to play it off by not looking at her.
Yeah, I'm just like
I can't think of anything more like uncomfortable than being like, I'm not. Yeah, I have a
I was just like, thankfully there was more like open mic going on, so I'm like, I'm just gonna watch these people and pretend like
First
I'm
time
paying
that's
attention.
ever been said.
Literally,
Thankfully, there was more open mic to be had.
and there were more jokes to be told about bad wives.
That's how
Oh man, is that guy saying the N-word? I'm so glad that I am at this open
Literally,
mic right
I gotta
now.
focus. You gotta learn from the craft by watching. So like, so anyways, I'm trying to focus on this. Other masochist comes back. This girl tries to buy me another drink, and I was like, thank you. I have to drive home. Like, thanks. I'm gonna go home. And so then I go home because she knows my sister. She finds me on Instagram.
No.
Yeah, she finds me on Instagram. She like DMs me off of like a Instagram highlight that I had up or something to like, and like at this point I had like not. I was on a
love
bit
that
of a
she's,
dry
like,
spell.
finding a reason. Also, she goes to the highlight and replies to the
Yeah,
highlight.
because I didn't have an active story up, so there was nothing to just like.
that's
Just
so
DM
funny.
you.
Yeah.
Just DM you. That's
Yeah.
like, at this point, if you're literally flirting with the person as your significant other is in the just DM, you've already made the inappropriate move.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems
It was
I love your trip to Italy. This
Yeah.
is so cute. It's not organic. Like,
Literally,
what
from
are you
121 weeks ago. So she finds me, she DMs me off of a Instagram highlight and like says like, this is whatever it was. And I was like, thanks. And then,
That just goes to, I will also say that just she's like femme.
yeah,
It just goes to show how reluctant femmes are at times to just slide in and be like, hey, I think you're cute.
That's so
That you
funny.
will go to a highlight.
yeah,
Anyway, sorry. I'm really focused on
roundabout. And so anyway, she DMs me off that. And then I was like, oh, thanks. And then like the next day she DMs me and says, Kiosk and I broke up. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm so sorry to hear that, like whatever. And then
this bit. Gee, I wonder why.
literally, and then she starts being like,
Gee, I wonder why you guys broke up.
yeah.
Oh my
and then she
God.
started being like, but I'm like kind of glad I'm free now. Like, are you seeing anybody? And I was like, this is fucking crazy. And I just kind of like trying to be friendly was like, oh no, I'm not, but like whatever. And then I was like, but I'm like, she also like didn't live in Savannah. She lived in Atlanta, I think. So she like was gone. So I was like, but you live 4 hours away. So like, it doesn't even matter. And then the next day she DMs me, good morning, heart. And I was like, nope, I'm actually,
Whoa.
and I never like, I think I unfollowed her and everything. Like, I can't do this.
Can you put her name into my phone?
I don't even remember her last name, but I'll find it.
Yeah, please do. My God.
Isn't that crazy?
I bet you they got back together.
I don't know. Well, it's funny because I was thinking about what I was going to tell on the podcast, and I was like, oh, I'll do this story. And then on the way here, I was on Instagram on the train, and Mass Kiosk's Instagram came up, and there was somebody else now. So
Damn.
Good
More
for
power to
you
Mass
know what?
Kiosk.
Mass Kiosk, if you are listening right now, you deserve someone better. And
Yeah.
I really hope that this
Mass
person
Kiosk
is-
was really cool. So I hope that they found love. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
That's so, it makes me super anxious because I dated a person a long time ago. She would flirt with other people in front of me, and it hurt my feelings so
Yeah.
much.
That's awful.
Yeah, it really sucked. So I feel for Mass Kiosk.
Yeah.
And I yeah. Oh man.
That's tough. My sister told me she was crazy in her sorority too. So
Oh really?
Yeah.
How bizarre.
yeah.
I mean, she seems very good morning, heart.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
The way your eyes opened on that. Good morning, heart. It is.
It's a lot.
It is
Crazy.
a lot.
Yeah.
I never advocate for falsely playing it cool, but like that means you need to have some self-awareness about the flow of conversation.
You gotta,
Yeah.
like,
Because
read
I'm
the
assuming
room,
you
yeah.
didn't respond to
No,
her.
I think we had a couple messages back and forth total that were
Oh,
just
right, and
very
you were-
much me being like, oh, like, sorry to hear that. Like,
Yes,
and then her being like,
yes.
are you free,
Read the
single?
room.
And I was like,
Read the
yeah,
room.
you live in Atlanta, right? Like, trying to be like, go away. and then good morning. And I was like, I'm not responding to any more of these anymore.
Yeah. That's a great story.
Thanks.
And you recently started stand up before you came out as trans, right?
Yes.
I'm always curious about, because like River Butcher, if you guys don't know River Butcher, trans comedian,
Mhm.
super super funny, has a Comedy Central set out. Some of the best material that I think right?
Yep.
Yeah, that he's ever done. I don't know why I checked in with you as if you're the authority on all trans comedians.
Yeah, I
You
got a
know
list
all
on my phone.
all of their pronouns.
They got to check in with me before they change their pronouns publicly.
You have an approved stamp in your
Yeah,
pocket.
yeah.
You can...
But some of the best I think, his best material ever. And I'm curious, like, in going through, because the number one thing I think about life events with comedy is, do they destroy your material? Did you feel challenged by that? Like, going back to your older material and, like, stuff like that?
Well, it kind of worked out that so, like, right when I moved up here and started doing stand-up in New York in, like, April, I was kind of, I think I was using they, them pronouns at the time.
Got it.
The classic pipeline. And I was kind of doing some old bits about, like, being a lesbian, but had quickly kind of faded those out because I was like, that doesn't really feel good to say those jokes on stage anymore, so I kind of just abandoned it.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I was, like, early enough that it was, like, I wasn't losing material. I felt
right.
like now if something... I can't imagine anything would change that I would lose all my trans material, but like that would be like a bigger blow now, I feel.
Yeah.
But
do you, and I'm also curious if you feel, oh, sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say that so to answer your question, no, not like, it didn't really feel like too much of a blow, but it was something I was cognizant of. And at the time I was like, oh fuck, all 5 minutes of my jokes are gone. But now it's not that big of a deal.
I think, do you prefer, I love performing in front of straight people and straight men, because I honestly, of all people, I think the number one person who relates to me is like a straight dude who wants to be, who like cares. A straight dude who cares is the most like me. Yeah. And it's crazy because men will come up to me after shows and say things like, you're just like, I love you so much because you're not a lesbian comedian, but you're a lesbian. You know what I mean? And it's like so incredibly insulting.
Yeah.
But also weirdly validating at the same time. And I'm curious, like, how does it feel to be performing in front of guys? You know what I mean? Like, because you perform so much in front of queer crowds. But to me, the reason I'm asking is it feels like you're sort of like me, in that's the energy that I think is going to best consume some of your work. Yeah,
it really depends. I mean, like, I'm amazed at how many straight men have come up to me and being like, I loved your set. And I'm like, I never thought that you would be my target demographic in any way. Like, I didn't think that they would relate. And some material I feel like is a little bit more niche to queer experience and it kind of goes over their head. But, like, a lot of the stuff I talk about, because a lot of what I like to talk about is just how dumb, like, labels and gender is, and I mean that's something that they experience, and like I think I subvert expectations a lot because I come out there and I look like a fucking Pixar character, and then I'm talking about like I don't know, then I speak to like being a man right now, I guess, in a way that is like I can talk about it because I'm queer and I'm trans, and so it's like coming out of a safe voice to be voicing these things.
You're voicing a thing that they're all feeling,
right?
But straight men really are not allowed to talk about,
right?
Because if they talk about it, it's like victim-y and whatever. So you have this unique perspective where you kind of have been the victim of some horrible things in comedy,
right?
But also now you can speak to this other side of it.
Yeah. And I'm more and more interested in like masculinity in men than I like ever thought I would be, but now that I like identify with them more, I don't know, it's interesting, like things I never thought I'd be like fucking shut up, boo-hoo, but now I get it, and I'm like, oh, you guys do have some, like, there's just such a lack of blueprint for what it like to be a man right now, and they're like so searching for some sort of guidance, and like everything says like you're a fucking asshole, and even when you like want to ask for help, you just like everybody's like you're a fucking asshole.
When you give them permission, they know it's safe,
right? Yeah. And so I do like that. Obviously mostly it's just like stupid jokes, but it's like I hope that it can be like, hey, you can be on this with me, and like you can laugh, and like you can be here too.
Yeah.
So like I do like, it is funny I'll see some like frat dudes who I'm like, maybe this could go either way, but more often than not they do dig what I have to say, which is fun. Yeah.
You're the type of person that can say to those men like you're fine, like you can feel comfortable talking about this stuff too, and I love that about your comedy.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Because it's very accessible and educational.
Thank you. That's one thing I think about sometimes, is I think that like when I was early, like now I think I get read pretty much as a man for the most part, especially once I immediately start talking about it. But early on, I was like, I could tell sometimes straight audiences are like, wait, time out. Like, this is not matching up, which is fucked. You should just listen to what people say and take it for their word for it. But it was hard to navigate. I'm like, okay, how do you see me? Like, what am I coming across as? I have less of an issue with that now, but it's more so like, okay, do you want me to be like this happy-go-lucky guy, or do you like, can I be a little bit darker, or is that gonna be like, I don't know. Sometimes I get in my head about that, like the way that they perceive me as like I'm supposed to fit this one thing, and I'll only be palatable this one way.
That's not true. As you grow and get better and everything, you'll have more freedom. But I also do think that now that you've mentioned your all-American boy face, we should go back to the TikToking conversation, because clearly it's working for you. Listener, this is a good one to YouTube. Why am I objectifying you?
It's all right.
I'm really deeply sexualizing Nico.
But it's more of an admiration.
Yeah,
You're propping me up. You're not making me feel bad about myself.
Good, because I think you would do so.
Dude, you could do like soccer trick shots on Instagram.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And
True. I could do soccer trick shots with my shirt off.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was about to say.
That might be the way to go.
I wasn't gonna say it because I was. Oh, you should take your shirt off at the end of every trick, so you can get people to watch till the end.
Exactly.
But I just at my heart, I'm like a camp counselor or like kind of a coachy kind of vibe, and whenever I see someone who's like not doing everything that they can for their comedy career, and I feel like they have it.
Including selling their soul.
Including their body, not their soul. No one's interested in Nico's soul, okay? Anyway, I think you should. But let's go to, can we go to Maddie?
Let's do it.
Listener, if you know me, I sometimes put my health last. I'm busy. You're busy. We're all busy. We don't have time to look into why our poops are weird, or why we're not sleeping right, or why our hair feels a little crispier than normal. We're busy. We're busy queers. So make it easy for yourself to get that nutrition that's going to help your immune system, help your gut health, help your nervous system, help you feel more energetic. I'm talking about Athletic Greens, of course. I love Athletic Greens. It's a product that I use literally every day, and I started taking AG1 because my poopies were weird, everybody. My little poopies were weird. Is there nothing sacred in my life anymore? Nothing is sacred, but I have to tell you about Athletic Greens. That's how good it is. I'm willing to put my poops on the line. Look, I didn't have a lot of time like you, but I wanted better gut health, more energy, and an optimized immune system. I hated taking pills. You know what I mean? I wasn't good at it. And I wanted a supplement that actually tasted great, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. So what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things. I love it. I've been using it a little while now. It's great stuff. I just scoop it into my morning smoothie. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, or vegetarian, dairy-free, or gluten-free. I'm vegetarian, just by the way. It works for you. It supports better sleep quality and recovery and mental clarity and alertness. Tons of people take some kind of multivitamin, and it's important to choose one with high-quality ingredients so that your body will actually absorb the stuff, right? Well, AG1 is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you can do every single day to take great care of yourself. And your subscription comes with a year's supply of vitamin D, which is so important to add in these winter months when we don't get as much sunlight. You know that. You're sad. And it's sustainable. Athletic Greens is a climate-neutral certified company, and that makes me feel great, not just in my body, but in my heart and my mind. And right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/WHGS. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/WHGS to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Fix those poops, listener! Maddie, did you have gay sex this week?
Okay, well, if I want to be like real annoying about it.
Yeah. No, be real annoying about it.
I mean, technically masturbation is sex with yourself, so like it's a radical act of love, and
True.
And that's the most virgin thing you've ever said. Radical act of love is the most virgin thing you've ever said. And there are people at home, yes, Maddie, yes, love yourself. Radical act of love, yes.
Well, the rose toy is radical. That's honestly what I want to talk about. I did not have gay sex this week, but I am. Did you ever see that interview with Emma Watson where she was like, I'm self-partnered?
No.
They asked her if she was single and she said, I'm self-partnered.
I love
And
Emma Watson.
Me too.
She is one of my
She
celebrity.
was my first celebrity crush.
Yeah,
My whole Instagram explore page is Emma Watson and Kristen Stewart. I'm obsessed because it's also the Twilight Harry Potter.
Of course.
You know, it's
I'm less Kristen Stewart. I'm less Kristen Stewart. I'm more. I'm like, how can I be? Do I want to be like Kristen Stewart? I feel more like.
Yeah.
But Emma Watson, I fully am like, please let me just whatever you want, whatever you need me to do.
she's so pretty.
What
Yeah.
about Julia Louis-Dreyfus? She's one of my celebrity crushes.
I'm obsessed but I'm obsessed with Julia on like a talent level. I'm
Well, of
obviously
course.
she's beautiful and I'm physically attracted to her, but she's so funny.
She's like the best comedic actor of our time.
She is. I don't know why more people don't say this. I'm
She's
so
so-
glad that. I mean, I guess she's won like 9
She's so
Emmys.
respected. She is so, and the Mark Twain. She's so respected,
No,
but
I-
also she is kind of underrated.
she is weirdly, especially younger people. I don't think they know because people dismiss Seinfeld. I've noticed like Gen Z super dismisses Seinfeld, which is like
Which is so dumb.
one of the greatest
The sitcom is
comedies.
incredible.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And she is her comedic timing, her delivery. She's physically very funny. She's an incredible actor. I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Gorgeous.
If you're listening right now, and I don't think that you are,
You never know.
maybe. And also, like her dad's like a billionaire.
Yeah.
You're that
Wait,
talented.
really? From
Yeah.
what?
I don't know. Probably something really horrible. But the fact that
Nobody's a billionaire from good stuff.
she's both extremely talented in her own right, and her father being a billionaire has nothing to do with her level of success.
Yeah.
And also her dad is a billionaire. What is not to love about this woman? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Talk about your
sorry to derail.
masturbating. Yeah, sorry that we started doing a radical act of love on ourselves to the thought of Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
No, okay, well that because the self-partnered thing, everyone was like making fun of it on the internet, and I was like, genuinely, that's what. Okay, that's like what. It's not really a story, but the thing I want to talk about is that I was like, I don't think that's like a bad idea to be like having an era in your life where you're like, I'm just trying to like get to know myself better, and
I
like,
totally agree.
and like literally be like almost dating yourself. Be like, what do I like to do? How do I like to spend my time? Like, let me like learn more about myself. You know what I mean?
I
And, like,
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sort of in a moment like that too because I've been so busy and I'm trying to offload everything off my plate and, you know, get an assistant to help with that and stuff like that. And I'm realizing in my free time, I don't know what I like to do anymore. And it's sad. It's sad. Like you
Yeah.
should know what you want to do in
Yeah.
your time.
And so that when you do get into a relationship with someone, you're like, I know what I like, and because I'm very like have a tendency to just absorb to another person.
Yes.
And I'm like, let me like, if I know myself better, I'll have like less of a tendency to do that. And so I'm like going to the park. I that was my gay sex this week because I took a walk in the park. I'm like a 68-year-old widowed lesbian. Already.
You're like a period piece going for a nice stroll, thinking about ladies.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like 70 years ago, that was peak lesbian sex.
Yeah.
yeah.
Going to the park by yourself and like thinking, longing, just looking at other women from across the way.
Dude, I also I started twirling my hair. I was like, oh my god,
Just
That sounds
thinking
so
about
nice.
it.
But it,
Which park did you go to?
I went to Prospect Park.
Nice.
Good
So
one.
anybody like, you know, if we just want to wander around in like, you know, corsets and long 1800s dresses and happen to bump into each other.
Just make really low, prolonged eye contact and then be like, I have to go.
Yeah.
But
I
also-
must leave.
I stopped watching porn.
Oh,
I don't know if do you watch porn?
but really not at all. Very
But
little.
that's also because you have so much sex that you're like, well, I'll just sleep with a
No,
woman.
stop it.
No, sorry, I'm just kidding.
I'm not,
But
listener.
you know, you're not.
I will say there are times when I am on a tear.
Sometimes I'm in the pocket, but not always.
Sometimes I'm in your pocket, listener. And currently, I am not on a tear at all.
I didn't mean to offend you by implying that you get too much pussy to masturbate.
I just want the people. I have a real self-conscious thing about feeling too egotistical on the pod.
Oh, I feel you.
I just want everyone to know that I'm having whatever number of sexual partners you think is appropriate for me. That's how many I have.
Whatever you think is appropriate for me, I'm working towards that. No, but I think stopping watching porn made me realize like sexual preferences and like gender identity stuff better than I could have thought, because it's like when you're not being fed images and you have to like think about what you actually want, it's like learned more about myself just from that than from something this is like, I don't know if this is weird or like too TMI,
No,
but it's like,
it's not. I love this type of stuff.
okay. Because this is I've not said this to anybody before.
Oh my God, clickbait.
But it,
Alex!
well, I don't know if it's like
Clickbait!
creepily vulnerable. You know what I mean? But it's like, but I stopped watching porn and I was like, oh, I like want a dick. Like all my fantasies, I have a dick. And I was like, okay.
Oh, you
so
want
that's
a dick
good to-
on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I wish it was like, I wish it was like retractable.
There
I wish,
are strap-ons.
yeah, I think that's probably the move for me. Because I'm like, if I could ideally, I was like, I wish it could, I only in a sexual context.
I will say
Yeah.
for
I
some,
think I just discovered strap-ons.
I will say for the listener, just so you know, fantasy does not always equate to what you actually want in real life. Because for me,
Yeah.
the things that I fantasize about are often just like more of a sign of my neuroses.
Yeah.
Like if I'm having a sexual fantasy, I'm like, I should talk about that in therapy.
Yeah.
Because that's not at all what I want. So be careful, listener. Like, don't let your,
that's a good point.
if you're having a fantasy, try and really think about that outside of the sexual time and don't judge yourself for what you're fantasizing about. If it's, I just want to mention that because I have had a sex therapist talk about fantasy specifically. So it could go either way. And I think it's,
No, that's such a good
the fact
point.
that you're organically, that it sounds different to me.
Well, I think it's more about the idea of like being a top, and I've only been in relationships with straight dudes that like straight cis dudes who like I was never. There's no top. There's the top
Right.
bottom paradigm is locked in. You know,
Right.
And like
It's assumed,
I was
yeah.
trying to do a bit about this one time, but with I don't think
It's
well,
so
I'll
funny
keep
because
this
straight people
anonymous.
don't even realize that they're locked into a paradigm. So
No.
it can
Yeah.
be really, this specifically can be tops and bottoms. People are like, what are you, the only way
The guy's
that
like,
they,
no, you were on top. What are you talking about?
right,
Like,
exactly.
It's like, yeah.
Or they think about it in terms of gay men. So they're like, I didn't have my asshole pegged, so I was the top.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But I've tried to like before, like during sex, be a little bit like just be like, you know what I mean? Something that's like, oh, can you handle that? And then he's like, can you handle it? And I'm like, now we're fighting. Like, this is not. You will not give up your spot, dude. Now we're like, can you step in the ring with me, brother? Like, it's very much that energy.
All of a sudden,
Put
there's
on
a
the gloves.
Right, there's like a folding chair for some reason, and now both of you are in leotards.
No, so I don't know. I'm not like a super, like I don't have a super high sex drive outside of like if I don't have a crush on somebody or if I'm not like into them emotionally. So like I think that's really the gist of what I wanted to say here. Was that,
Yeah.
like, I think it's important that you can like, if you just don't watch porn and like treat masturbation not just like as a utility, but it's like just like experiment the way that you would with a person. You can do that by yourself.
Yeah.
It sounds
that-
a little sad, but
No,
it's good
it's
though.
not-
No.
Generally though, people are like,
It's
I don't know,
not
it's actually a good
sad
thing.
at all to experiment with yourself. Okay.
Because that's something I never could have learned in a straight relationship. I don't
Right.
think.
Totally.
And it's nice to do it in a sort of safe space where it's like I think I'd be nervous to even explore that with like a woman or another queer person right now, and it's like just do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Just have a little practice run. If you've seen the rehearsal with
Honestly,
Nathan Fielder,
Maddie?
it's basically that.
Can I give you homework?
Sure.
You should get a strap and just wear it in the house.
That sounds so fun.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just get comfortable in it.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't have one that you could borrow, and I feel that it might be a violation to actually do that. And also, you do not have to take my sex homework ever. You never. I'll give out the sex homework, but you can like leave it
Okay.
here.
Do they make strap-ons where sorry, now I'm just literally asking a question. Do they make strap-ons where there's a vibrator on the wearer's side?
They
so that
do.
you can
Yeah.
feel it?
Yeah,
Okay, that's dope.
this is
That's dope.
And also,
Also, I just remembered that my dad listens to every podcast I'm on. My dad will message me like, I saw you were on a podcast, so
he'll
I'm so
message you a
sorry.
link to like Babeland with a vibrator. Proud of you. Also, I will say, and again, with your first of all, thank you for being vulnerable.
Oh,
I really enjoyed that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was gonna be uncomfortable.
It was
so
really
I'm glad
good, right?
It was great,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and the
Okay,
listeners
thanks.
love this.
Okay,
They
cool.
love it. Listener, write in, tell Maddie that you loved it and that you appreciate the vulnerability. And then also let Maddie know if you would be willing to bottom for them.
Oh my god.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Write in and tell Maddie what a good little bottom you are, Bottom Nation. Wow, this is getting that might have been too much.
Also, don't be offended if I don't respond because last time people
You're
were
scared. You're
really
scared.
nice, and then I was like, I just got nervous.
I think that's it. You want to do some? Should we do some butt plugs?
Let's do some butt plugs.
Yeah.
You mentioned this before, but you have a great monthly show at Club Coming that I've done.
Yes.
That I
You've
quite
both done. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so fun. It's such a good show.
It's
Thank
really
you.
good. So that's every month, and
Yeah.
they can find you where to get tickets to the show and keep up with you.
You can find my Instagram at Nico Carney and Twitter at Nico Carney. That I'm never on there. And then you can find at Boys Club Comedy. I also have a podcast called Boys Club.
That's right, and I'm gonna do it at some
Yes.
point.
Both of you. We're gonna have you on. And yeah. So if you've enjoyed me here, please check out Boys Club Comedy.
If you've enjoyed him here,
Yeah.
don't. Everyone's enjoyed you. Literally, zoom on Nico's face. The analytics are going through the roof right now on Nico's face. Zoom. We'll put a
Huge.
little thing in the YouTube clip that says just Nico's face. Yeah, I'm giving him work. You don't have to do any of this.
Yeah. Find me there.
And you're on the 26th of October. You're at Union Hall doing your
Yeah.
half hour.
October 26th, half
Aren't I
hour.
such an incredible host?
Yeah, I'm impressed that you remembered all
I
that.
remembered all that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so good at what I do. You know my stuff, patreon.com/WHGS, ashley.gavin.com for tour dates. It's a crazy tour. So many. I cannot believe St. Louis. I went to Omaha, St. Louis this weekend, Charlotte, Philly, Milwaukee. What crazy. And Maddie, what do you want to plug?
At Maddie Wiener on Instagram.
Maddie to 20K. We had Kate to 10K, but Maddie has some followers from their Comedy Central
I
set.
mean, I wouldn't mind a follow.
Hell
So
yeah.
I love it.
Maddie really needs to build out this following because
And-
Maddie is an industry darling,
Oh, thank you.
and we need to get the other side of it. We need to create draw for Maddie. So go follow Maddie,
And I'm trying to go hopefully on a co-headlining tour with Buddy in the fall. So
who is also
Fuck yeah.
extremely talented.
if you want to stay tuned for that, that'll be like all updates about that are like on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, guys. Once again, fund this podcast, fund my special. Let's get everyone who works on this the money that they deserve and the recognition and let's make them feel valuable. Go follow people. Patreon.com/WHGS and AshleyGavin.com for tour dates. Come see me live. That's a great way to support the show. And we're going to start doing a monthly digital version of my show, Sunday School, so you can watch comedy on there if you can't get to New York City. AshleyGavin.com for all that info. Yeah. And now the Gay Thought. We have a Discord if you're looking for a place to connect with other queer people from around the world. It's really fun. It's very supportive. A little chaotic in a good way. And I posted on there to get their gay thoughts. So let's this one's really funny. I wish these are the gay thoughts from the Discord. Wind chimes. Alex, make that sound better. Make it sound real. I wish being gay was still illegal, so I'd have a valid excuse not to get out of bed right now. I wish I could call in gay, you know, like the way straight people call in sick. That's pretty funny. I'm gay today. I can't. Man, I ate pussy last night. You guys don't want to catch it. I'm not going to be able to come in. I'm very contagious at the moment with my gayness. I have pins all over my body and they're spreading. I actually really like that. I'm just going to stay on that gay thought. If being gay makes people so uncomfortable, sometimes we should be able to use it, use the negativity in a positive way. You should get on your PTO from work days that you can. I'm taking a gay personal day, a gertional day, a gaysenal day. I'm taking the day to be gay, and you don't want me to do it in here. You don't want it in your face. If you don't want it in my face, give me some fucking vacation days so I can do it at home. If it is an illness, it should be covered by my health insurance so I can go to the doctor so I can take the day off. You guys would be sick every day, you sick fucks. All right. Have a great week, guys.